Hello, welcome back. This is Jacob, and today we are gonna be continuing and also finishing off the narration and character voice acting for the See You Soon story collection. Alright everybody, part 2 and also the final part for this little collection here, and we're gonna see how it ends and what teasers it's gonna give us, because like I said in the previous episode and we've seen in the previous episode, this is pretty much a bridge story collection towards whatever is coming in the future, and that will be very apparent in today's final 3 parts. And as you might be also able to tell from the timestamp, today's episode is not just long because I'm gonna be doing the little post-story ramble at the end today, like I always do, but because the cutscenes are long. The cutscenes are long, we're gonna get to that. I had some mental breakdowns, let's put it that way. There was quite a lot to record, and there was a lot to record, let's put it that way. Let's just put it that way for now. But also, very quickly before we continue, for anybody who bumps into the voiceover through this very episode, you can find the full playlist for this in the description of the video. I have also put a couple of extra playlist categories down there, separated by nations, for specific reasons that I'm gonna get to when we get to the final part of today's episode, final story. So for now, just sit tight and you're gonna get the explanation very quick. But yeah, this is gonna be our finale, so let's head in. And also very quickly of note, usually on part 2s I do a recap of part 1 and so on and so forth, but considering that the first 3 stories in this collection have been very individual, I will not be doing that. There is no purpose of recollecting what happened in these for the rest of today's episode. But for those of you, like I said at the beginning of this episode, just earlier, if you've missed part 1, it's in the playlist, and yeah, check it out. These are pretty decent stories by themselves, and just like everything else in this collection, it serves like a bridge point for whatever is coming next. But with that said, the last 3 stories in here are, compared to the first 3, very heavily connected. These last 3 stories could be pretty much a story on their own, which is very funny. It's like a half and half collection. But anyway, we will continue, of course, here with our 4th story in the collection, which is the story that features our currently summonable 6-star operator, Entelechia, and it is called Canoes of the Riverside. So let's begin. The soil of this foreign land is soaked with the blood of the Sarkas. Churned, jumbled, I can sense a chaotic mess of emotions tangled together. Hesitation, wrath, cowardice, homesickness. Was this what you wished for, Your Highness? Sleep, my kin. As long as blood continues to flow, relief from pain will soon follow. Have I arrived too late? Perhaps. If the war can truly come to an end, if this end can truly determine who wins and who loses, when have we Sarkas ever won, I ask? I have never been fond of watching the clock, mind you. I prefer to keep time with the pulsing of my heart. It told me to come here, and so I came. As far as I was aware, Rose Riverside was dissolved after your princess fled far away and the canoes scattered. Quite a few former canoes have gone on to serve the military commission. Re-establishing our long-lost contact right after the commission's decline suggests you want something from me. I can't guarantee you'll get it. Not even for old time's sake. You're the same as ever, Kaltsit. It's hard to believe how much Amiya has grown. Not up she's keeping an eye on me, yes? Unnecessary precaution. Logos warned us of your appearance. Since we withdrew from the falling airship, you are the first outsider to reach our safe house. Outsider. Are you like me, Dame Katsit? Most difficult to persuade when we're in the throes of grief? This is not a bauble safe house, Entelechia. Hearing that codename coming from your lips truly takes me back. I passed by the charnel house that is Londinium on my way here. I rescued a few fortunate souls and sent off a few unfortunate ones. It brings me no joy to see my countrymen spill their blood on foreign soil, Katsit. I don't recall you being such a sentimental person. The vampire goes silent. Katsit sees she has no intention of answering. Why would you risk crossing the battlefields of Victoria to see me, Entelechia? If you require assistance, Therese's would be the better option. No need for these probing questions, Katsit. I'd rather not have anything to do with the Regent. Perhaps some of the sisters agree with him, but as you know... Ever since Her Highness Theresa's untimely accident at Babel, there has been less and less contact between us. Our sororial bonds have weakened. But that is not why I came to find you, Katsit. I intend to help Ascalon with a trifling matter, one that will allow her to enter the city a tad easier. What do you want? According to our latest intelligence, the military commission is strengthening its control within the city. The Nocturne troops and the ducal armies are facing each other down at the city walls. The situation is ever changing. Oh, I know. But such an adorable and studious youngster as her is well worth the effort to look after. That is not what I mean. Given the circumstances, you should have been unable to find any trace of Ascalon. I am very familiar with her ways. She is wounded. Gravely so. She's never used something like that as an excuse to lower her guard. You really trust her? It's hard to say whether I should be happy or worried for her that you hold her in such high regard. Who is helping you with this? Trickster, one of our sharp-eyed sisters. As a technician, she was able to hunt down a few clues I was looking for in Londinium. Her? I remember you all cherished her and would never have approved of putting her in the middle of this battle, and according to the vows made up by all you Canoes, none of you should even be here. As I suspected, you know of our plight. Her intelligence was right. You have a trail leading to the princess. As I'm sure you're well aware, Dame, I'm the only one who will not and cannot leave this river of blood. Do you still doubt me, even after all I said? Rhode Island thanks you for your assistance. We will repay the Canoes in kind, just as Theresa did during the Babel years. I will tell you all I know in regard to that princess. Thank you, Katsit. On another note, while I was in the bowels of the city, I got a whiff of Ducarel's stench. I would love to help settle the matter for you while I'm there. I will need help from your people. I'm afraid Rhode Island does not have any more to spare inside the city. There is a local faction known as Milskar. Finding them should not be a challenge for you. They are close to the heart of the storm, but are determined to avoid entangling themselves with any of the involved parties, a stance you would find familiar, I'm sure. You would trust someone like that? We retain shared interests for the time being. If the military commission has other plans for Ducarel's arrangements, they will undoubtedly affect the Ducal Alliance's next moves, or even disrupt the Exemplar's plans to enter the city. Neither Rhode Island nor Milskar wishes to see such an outcome. You really haven't changed one bit. Did this plan come from you, or that commander of yours? It is Rhode Island's plan. Rhode Island. Very well. Do send my regards to your commander, though I fear I'm simply another lost memory at this point. Dame, there is a question that's been eating away at me. One I was hoping you could answer. Aside from
His Highness the Regent, I'm afraid only you hold the answer. After all, you were the only ones who made it from the airship.
Is a question you already know the answer to really so important?
Of course it is. If one does not see it with one's own eyes, hear it with one's own ears, say it with one's own mouth, then saying goodbye becomes quite a challenge. Even though my heart sends the echo of the myriad souls as they left with such clarity, I still ask myself over and over if she was among them. And so I must ask, has Her Highness left us once more?
Southern region of Kazdal, summer 1094, after the fall of Babel.
I've left you your life and a knife. I'd say that's a very generous price for answering my question. Who hired you all to kill me? Few even know of our existence.
I'm dead either way, so do me a favor and be quick about it. Release him. I mean with a quick death like he asked for, Entelechia. As long as he spills enough blood, you can always just tear out the memories you want from him, right?
Well, since you mention it...
The vampire raises her hand. The crimson shackles binding the mercenary disappear into nothingness.
I find I'm rather against that suggestion.
Go
on then, mercenary. As you can see, I have far too many people trying to kill me at the moment. I shan't be remembering your face. No need to thank me.
Watching that cringe-worthy performance of yours was painful.
Not many know the name Rose Riverside. I didn't have to do anything to him to guess who's hunting us. Her Highness has only just left us, and those who have hidden in the shadows for too long are only too eager to act. You played your part well, though. Otherwise, it would have been such a bother finding an excuse to let him go.
Don't misunderstand me. Her Highness is dead, and I have no intention of following the region to throw my life away in Victoria. Which is why I found my own way forward, one that lets me live.
It almost sounds like you want to kill me too, Milton.
Even if I did, I couldn't touch you. Or any of you, for that matter. If not, I'd have taken back my sister a long time ago.
You best make yourself scarce then.
The young mixed-blood Sarkas does not do so, instead tightening his grip on his knife.
You help your sister deliver messages, which is why I remember you. My memories hold true, and whatever your role may be now, it has no bearing on them.
You and I both know what Her Highness's passing means for Kazdal. I sense a storm approaching, and none of us can escape it.
I do not wish for your sister to mourn. Leave while you still can. The situation is rather murky at the moment, and the sisters have scattered. Even I am having trouble tracking them down. The chaos in Kazdal has forced me to bid many a farewell. There are fewer and fewer informants I can speak to as the days go by. I do not intend on losing another sister because of you.
There's nowhere any of you can hide. Most of the people after you aren't doing it out of hatred, but for the information you have. Even if the military commission says they won't hunt down anyone with ties to Babel, do you really think they'll let you waltz away with all those secrets spilling out of your pockets?
I like to see them try and stop me. You're on a fool's errand, Milton.
I'm just a worthless merc. But if I really do manage to bring your head in, at least I'll have a chance to protect my sister. I'm out of options, Entelechia. With a burst of speed, the young Sarkis swings his sword, but Entelechia's sight does not block his attack as he expected. Instead, the vampire's body slowly dissipates like a fog of blood, fading into the background.
You could have been more honest from the start. If I promise you that none living shall approach the streets, will you speak with candor? Yes, exactly what you're thinking. Your friends in ambush will not be coming.
You're not as calm as you're pretending to be either. You pretend your pursuers bother you and claim you acted only to expose a traitor. Then you send everyone who finds you back to reveal your location, also that anyone with a grudge against the Canoes will focus solely on you. I heard from my sister that you were the one who cleaned up after every operation. The cleaner, they call you. Once, when she barely escaped by the skin of her teeth, you used a similar method to draw attention to yourself. Though it involved faking an injury that time. You're losing a lot of blood, true, but the art you used was powerful enough to turn everyone who even glanced at you into a fine red mist. My sister risked her life to let you all cleanse her blood, turning her into a pure vampire, but even she couldn't eat for days after seeing that.
I did endeavor not to splash too much blood. I'm not fond of working in such a garish fashion myself.
No, what I hate is your arrogance. You think you can bear the entire blood depth of the Rose Riverside by yourself.
And what makes you say that? If I really were as capable as you claim, I would have held on my sister and have them accompany me upon this river of blood. And Rose Riverside would not have scattered so prematurely. I wish I'd have time to do more than cleanup duty during the crux of the Civil War. I was so busy I didn't even hear the whispers in the wind. And that was that. I could not save Theresa, nor a single canoe. Even what you're willing to do for your sister now, I cannot do myself.
What the... Shh. A sparkling blood-red gem slowly falls in front of Milton, as Entelechia's countenance grows even paler.
Take it back to the one you believe can save your sister. There are only two people in this entire land who can tell the difference between it and my little Garnet. I can promise you that much.
Your... earring?
More than that, but you needn't know. Now go. I wish you the best of luck, just as I do for my sisters.
What about you?
Judging by what you're holding, am I not already slain by your hand? If you have the chance to see your sister again, tell her I will find that woman, and have her provide an answer to all us sisters.
This princess of yours, is she a traitor? A liar? Or something else? By the time the scent of blood wafts over in the breeze, she has already gone. Thank you. Interior of the Shard, Londinium, October 1098.
Can you hear me? I'm inside the Military Commission's command center. The communications shutdown has been lifted.
That's mighty quick of you, Entelechia.
Naturally. Same old trick of mine. While I was dealing with Ducarel's altar, I found quite a few people lying in pools of blood. Some were closer to the Military Commission than others. There was still information on the command center in their memories.
Ah, today was off the mark. Today's blood drops were in the shape of two swords. Thought it meant you would have to face off against the Royal Court's army and have a tough time getting in.
Still playing at fortune teller, are you?
The sound of something falling passes through the wireless communicator, distant and fuzzy.
Are you alright there?
Damn it, tripped over the cable again. Anyway, with a body as bad as mine, I'm not casting any crazy blood arts anytime soon. Just let me mess around with a couple of drops now and then, okay?
Won't you consider telling me where you're hiding right now?
Why fix what isn't broken? Even back in Rose Riverside, when we Canoes were close as anything, nobody knew my hiding place.
But now that you're in Londinium, there's nowhere that can guarantee your safety.
No need to worry about me. Found a target to the northeast. Sounds like there are two teams. Make sure to avoid them.
Understood. We may have destroyed the Commission's command structure, but the mercenaries who are taking it over are unfamiliar faces. Are you still there?
I'm here. Sisters working together just like old times.
Yes, just like old times. The three in charge of those mercenaries had some past dealings with Babel. I may be here at Kaltz's request, but I doubt we would get very far using our old friendship as leverage. Would you say this goes against our sisterly vows?
I'd say it all depends on how you see it. No canoe shall interfere in matters related to Babel. It was you who set that rule. Some people don't really mind killing their own, you know.
With more rules comes less trouble. I know what us sisters are like, and how bad the blood can run between us at times.
Yep. Some join, so obviously there'll be some who leave too. We have to accept that, Entelechia.
This does not explain her sudden disappearance, though. I should think that I know her the best. Obviously, no one else has got a single drop of her blood on them. Which means her departure was truly without warning, rather than us missing a sign.
Sounds like you've doubted yourself. Join the club. It was only after it happened that I really got into this divination thing. It's never accurate, more like a game of associations that gets you thinking. But at least it gives me some sort of warning, reminding me to be mentally ready for any and all challenges. I'll help you out. At the very least, we know she came by Londinium. Two heads are better than one, and one clue is better than none, right? Hold on. There is movement outside the command center. Victorian Alliance troops are locking horns with a group of unknown Sarkas.
Those would be the mercenaries who have come to take charge. It would seem they're right behind us. I'll tidy up this command center for them then. Save them the trouble later. Would you mind leading the way?
No problem. I'm always here.
Londinium, after Babel's seizure of the Military Commission Command Center.
Entelechia. You're late, Kaltzit. Drafting a final plan of attack demanded my time. It's rare to see you absent-minded. Rhode Island's medical operators can provide standard medical aid, but if a vampire does not wish to staunch their own bleeding, I'm afraid there is little they can do. It's nothing. Who doesn't bleed a little in battle? I was simply pondering the shape this bloodstain has taken. It seems like a bad omen, no? But do go on, Kaltzit. Forgive me, but as usual, I can only thank you in a personal capacity for destroying Ducarel's remaining art circles and saving Londinium from yet another calamity. To be fair, I only did so out of my loathing for Ducarel. It wasn't to help you, and certainly not to help those Victorians. Nonetheless, your actions helped clear many obstacles for Vishadal and her people. True. I trust you'll remember my help today, Dame. Naturally. about the information you gleaned from within the Art Circle of Blood. Have you told Milskar? Just a hint. But that little kitten is smart enough to figure it out. When the Victorians and Sarkas began hostilities, it was inevitable that some among them would seek cooperation over common interests. This war must end. These problems must be left to Londinium, to Victoria itself. Amiya and the Doctor are currently fighting their own fight with the Victorian delegation to bring things to a peaceful close. If negotiations go as we hope, all the Sarkas will leave at the appointed time. The tragedy of Londinium can end. The more one knows about the past, the more worries it adds to their brow. It almost sounds like you're mocking yourself, oh nearly all-knowing Dame Kotset. 4 years ago, I found a bauble completely disarray. We may have had our similarities in that sense. Us cleaners really hate having to leave, and are disinclined to accept defeat. So I stayed, wanting to piece back together all the shattered fragments. As promised, I've synced what I know about your princess to the frequency band you provided. It's just scraps of information, but it should be enough to help you. Thank you, Kotset. If you and Rhode Island still need any assistance, do tell me now. Getting all the Sarkas to agree to leave is hardly the easiest matter after all. There is one thing you must know. The person receiving this information did not respond. Closure managed to triangulate the approximate location of the band signal, albeit with great difficulty, but our people were prevented from approaching. No, rather than prevented, they were being distracted. This sort of activity can only mean there are people in the shadows with their own purposes. After me, perhaps? No need to be in such a rush, Entelechia. Run as fast as you like, but that bouquet will wilt before you get past the battlefield no matter what. There are no roses in Casdell, true. Even if you do bring some for your sisters to see, they might not like them. You should toss the bouquet once the flowers are wilted. I am also unsure what awaits us once we return to the city of the Sarkas. Though with how well you've become in combat and arts, there should only be one thing you need to be ready for. I hope you have learned how to grieve, how to say farewell, Entelechia. It is easy to live with a heart full of hate, but it is hard to bear the pain of love. Saying farewell is what causes us to grieve, and so I will see Her Highness Theresa's wish fulfilled. I want you there with me when it becomes fulfilled. Will you agree to that, Entelechia?
Entelechia enters the ruins. A few frightened civilians follow her at a distance, their eyes locked onto her, muttering curses under their breath. None dare to throw the bricks they hold in their hands. A dried streak of blood trails across the ground, as if someone was dragged. It winds past a fallen wall, wrecked in the fighting, and skirts around a rusty assembly line. Trickster lies motionless, her face drained of blood, a shattered receiver still clutched tightly in her arms. Blood drips out of the terrifying wound on her, crimson as ever. A frail vampire died in Londinium, a sight all too common. Nobody cares why she died, but nobody can take away her dignity in death.
Your blood still isn't dry. Someone has kept the last of your dignity. Only someone living can leave behind minute art such as this. Arts of life. My princess is this. Is this all the mercy you could spare? You ended up coming here after all, Entelechia.
As her finger dips into the blood, a host of information springs up before her eyes. Through this blood, Entelechia communes with the consciousness of the deceased before it disperses completely.
Who killed you? I hid away too long and got hungry. Decided to go out for a walk. Someone hit me. I knew I couldn't escape, so I didn't bother to stop the bleeding.
As Rose Riverside's cleaner, she has seen too many of her compatriots fallen in pools of their own blood. The shadows of these grisly scenes serve as elucidators of information in her mind's eye, fitting together into a vague memory.
Was it the Victorians? Or the military commission? No need to be mad at anyone about this. If Rose Riverside hadn't taken me in, a vampire as weak as me wouldn't have made it past the Civil War. You all always said I was the only one of our sisters with sharp eyes, so whenever any surprises happened, even a small breakdown at the furnace, I'd be the first you all fussed over. That's all I ever needed. I'm so glad I met you all.
The memories continue further into the past. A familiar figure steps out of the river of blood, quietly watching them. It is Trickster's memory, and the memories of all the Canoes. As the warmth dies away in the blood, so too does the memory of the dead slowly dry up. Not many Canoes have left them, but none left in silence. No matter how dire the situation, they always spare the time to grieve for a lost sister. At least they did, once upon a time.
No, wait. What about the people we're looking for? Are you really alright with this? Didn't you want to bring back all our sisters too?
She sees no information. There is no answer from the blood. But unexpectedly, her finger touches something solid. Take away your hands. Do not tarry in this river of blood. She knows this crystal. Of course she does. It is a drop of her own blood. A vow. The beginning of Rose Riverside. There is no information within the pure crystal, merely the lingering warmth of arts.
My princess, why did you choose to return this to me now? Why now of all times? You were here, so why did you leave so soon? Was it because you could not save her? Or was it because of the war that barely ended? Because of all that transpired years ago? Or maybe it's simply to say farewell?
Not planning on staying in Londinium?
I found the answer I sought.
That princess of yours did come by the city. Neither the military commission's information network nor our covert web in Londinium could find anything on her. This is not good for us.
She didn't come here for the war. Rose Riverside will no longer take part in anything to do with Babel, a rule I set myself. She would not have violated it. Katset, she may have simply come to say farewell to Her Highness, or perhaps it was to stop Trickster and I from continuing our search.
The sudden disappearance of your princess on the eve of Babel's collapse is suspicious enough. I cannot even confirm if she left on Theresa's orders. Until we know where she truly stands, Rhode Island cannot rule out the possibility that she might interfere with our plans. Even if I too wish to believe that she has simply come to say her goodbyes.
I will find her, Katset. The final clue Strixer left for me will be enough. She owes me an answer too. If you need assistance, we are still happy to. I know you are going to say that Rhode Island wants to help. But Rhode Island and Babel are very different beasts. I do not wish for Rhode Island to be ensnared in the past once again. I believe Her Highness would not want it either. Our name may have changed, Entelechia, but our mission hasn't. Rhode Island will not continue down Babel's doomed path, but we will never deny the ideals Babel showed us. Besides, I want the truth too. I thank you for your kindness. A drifting canoe needs its birth, and for us, that can only be Casdel. The royal court, shaped by Ducarel, reeks with a stench that displeases the sisters. No doubt, sooner or later, another vile creature will emerge from his pool of blood. Perhaps I will rope in some other canoes in due time to cross the river of blood once more and return to the city of Her Highness's built. I foresee Casdel having even greater need of us in the wake of this war than Babel ever did. I fear persuading those sisters of yours will not be easy, not to mention your drifter of a princess. I believe in the vows of us canoes, even if many of us detest each other. Send this peddle of tricksters to Casdel in my stead, dame. See her home.
She slowly opens her hand, revealing a sparkling blood-red crystal. She did all she could to preserve the longing lingering in her sister's veins. You have my promise, and Rhode Island's as well.
Then don't blame me when trouble comes knocking on your door.
It has been a long time since Rhode Island was as weak as you imagine, Entelechia.
We can only hope. Goodbye, Katset.
The warmth in this drop of blood will never die, just as us canoes will never drown in the river of blood. This is our vow. I promise you. For our farewell, I shall grieve. I would much prefer to part less often, but... Goodbye, Entelechia. And there we go, that is our story for Entelechia. So yeah, we got to learn a bit more about her as the character, the background, but it's one of those times where I'm gonna say it's a bit of a shame when a new 6-star character gets introduced with a story collection, because this is gonna be the only story where she's actually in. The other 2 stories, like I said earlier, are connected to what was happening here, but in a sense, but overall, I'm kind of always miffed by when they introduce a 6-star character and they are introduced in a story collection, because this is like 40 minutes, which is it was a good 40 minutes. It was emotional, it was interesting. She still didn't catch her princess, still following after that. Maybe it's a foreshadowing for a side story in the future. But it's kind of a shame when a new 6-star character gets introduced with this type of story, because I feel like a fully fleshed out story would present them in a way more interesting light. At least that's how it feels to me, because in the past we had a couple of characters that were introduced this way. One of the most known ones would be Surtur, who got like a 20-minute cutscene, which is the length of an operator record. And we also had Archetto, that was also like, I think, like a 25-minute cutscene, which was pretty much nothing. And I think also Magellan is also in the same boat of having like a 20-30 minute cutscene when she was introduced. So, you know, I'm kind of always miffed by these, that they use this to introduce a character where they're barely in. But anyway, it was still interesting. We learned a couple of things about how the Coven of Rose Riverside is working, that they are working together but also not, in a sense. We also got to see a very interesting new character, Which, by the way, for all of the edge that the guy displays, Milton is the worst name to apply to the guy, and I hope it's mocking. I hope whoever came up with the name Milton for him and put it on a character with that design did it very, very consciously because they wanted to be funny. Because I personally laughed my ass off. You'll hear it in the clips probably at the end of this episode. But anyway, with that said, we move on to our second story, for today at least, which is called Another Breath of Death. So everybody, I hope you like a short movie, cause welcome to 55 minutes. Enjoy. Can you hear Victoria cry, O kings of yore? Fires burn my mother's skin. I fly above her head, but do not hear her cry for help. Only lament. But who does she lament for?
Don't bother collecting the bodies of these team knights and mercenaries. The Victorians already built this tomb for them. I know, Ines, but...
Paprika clenches the blood-stained piece of paper in her hand and tries to imagine what it felt like as the Steam Knight wrote these words.
This is the Steam Knight's home, but the Sarkas shouldn't be left here. If Hodor can really bring everyone back to Castle with the Lifebone, can we take them with us too?
If you've already made up your mind, then go ahead. But are you sure about this, Paprika? You aren't from Castle.
I can always find a way back to Columbia if I need to.
It's safer to travel back with the group for now. Who knows what they do to you if you stayed in Victoria or try to head back to Columbia now. Given the circumstances...
Stop pretending you're not injured.
I won't die. I can't die. Besides, we're already taking too long.
How is the Lifebone's recovery going?
It'll make it to Casdell, provided no one accidentally damages it again.
Oh, was that meant for me? Yes, your recovery is going just fine.
How are things looking outside, W?
I'll let you off the hook about the name this time, Ines.
Even better. How are things looking outside, W?
The Victorians made a big push right after the fire on the walls. The Naxxar lines collapsed right away.
What about the Naxxar king?
Still kicking, but he retreated into the city. Is there any news about the general, Miss Vichamel? Nope, could be dead for all I know.
Manfred wouldn't die so easily.
But the chaos outside is a problem. Based on the intel my guys collected, the sun is still sitting cozy, even though the military commission screwed this battle up big time. And while I'd love to blow Therese's to smithereens, I gotta admit, he's a cunning enough bastard that there's no way his forces would back down that easy. I'm thinking your plan needs to be moved up, Hodor.
The Lifebone is ready. Whatever the region is scheming, we should prepare to leave with the ones who've been dragged into this mess before the Sarkas purge begins.
I doubt the Victorians would let them go so easily.
I know, but...
Since when did we need the Victorians' permission to do anything? I've got an idea. But first, we'll need to capture the Commission's command center. Say, in the name of Babel. You guys just wait here for my orders.
An idea isn't a plan, W, but you seem confident. Fine, let's go. I've spent enough time underground.
Doesn't Hodor need someone to take care of him?
I have it on good authority that he won't die. Yes, that's what I said. Whatever the region and Naxxar are planning at the Palace of Vestalek, the fate of the survivors is probably not their priority. We can't just sit back and watch. You can tell us about your idea on the way.
Ha! 2 dances. What about you, Yarnball? I'll go with you. The general might be at the command center. I have so much to ask him. But do we just leave the lifeboat here? I could blow it to pieces if you want. If you're volunteering to carry everyone on your back instead.
W.
It's Vishadel! Don't worry, Yarnball. No one there will guess it's here. And if anyone dares get close, my guys will take care of them.
Vishadel surveys the resting place of kings, now barely recognizable rubble.
Besides, what better place to hide a pile of bones than a graveyard?
Outside the Military Commission Command Center.
Follow in yet? The Duke Alliance's army is surrounding the place, but they don't seem to have any intention of attacking. What are they doing then? Out for a picnic? Defending this place was so important to the general. How could,
The general? You mean the devil by the name of Manfred? I'm afraid he fled with his tail between his legs, abandoning all of you. Her Grace was right. The Military Commission spies do come through here.
Who the hell are you calling commission spy?
We are not your enemies. We've come to end this war. I've read your files, Sarkas. The right hand of Manfred. Your word can hardly be taken at face value. Then maybe you've also read how I escaped from Manfred. I'm afraid I lack the patience to read through the files of every insignificant devil. We've surrounded the place, sir. Eliminate these Sarkas spies. Search their bodies for intel on the command center. I've had enough of these Sarkas' tricks.
So you're not attacking cause you're too scared of what's inside? Well, if you don't have the guts, we'll do it for you.
Are you sure you want to pick a fight now, W? I can ensure a safe retreat at least. Holder pulls out his weapon. I'm with her. These Sarkas cannot afford to wait. Protect Paprika, Ines. We're forcing our way through.
If you say so.
Shadows spread from Ines's feet, locking on to every Victorian soldier present. Then she senses a different kind of shadow.
Delphine? Let them through, sir. And here I was thinking you finally made up your mind to kill us.
I'm not under the command of the Exemplars, my lady, nor do I want to be put on mandatory leave like Bellingham. I'm simply executing the Duke's orders. Wipe out the Sarkas. No more, no less.
These Sarkas share our strategic objective. They aren't a monolith. You're here to kill the Nachtzer, aren't you, Hodder?
The Nachtzer King holds great significance to the Sarkas, but he cannot be allowed to live. Only the swift and complete defeat of his forces will convince the one sitting on the fence to willingly withdraw with us. You want to flee with the devils?
Got a problem with that, punk? You do understand the crimes they committed, do you not?
I can't deny them. But I also understand what will happen if large number of leaderless Sarkas mercenaries are left scattered across the countryside. Mercenaries who've tasted blood in war.
You want to protect them.
And prevent further chaos.
Can you give your guarantee?
No, but she can. Bobble can. Holder points towards Vishadel. This war has long since lost its last justification for taking lives. It's time to bring it to an end. This has nothing to do with who I was, or who I am now.
Very well. You can go in. If Rodan trusts you, then...
You should be careful, Lady Delphine. What you are doing may constitute treason.
I don't need your advice. Lieutenant Shearer, instruct the Exemplar units to escort the Sarkis team into the command center. Inform all Alliance units that this order comes directly from Delphine Windermere.
Understood, Lady Windermere. I hope you will be able to answer for yourselves when the Dukes hear about this.
I have even more reason to hate the Sarkis than most of you, but I don't let it blind myself to the current situation. Londinium has bled enough.
Thank you for your help.
It's not you I'm helping, Sarkas. Go end this war. As for you, sir, you can either continue this staring match with me, or we can both go back with our men and prepare for the next battle. Or do you need to call the Duke of Caster for instructions?
No need for that, Lady Delphine. Her Grace has granted me discretion. I agree that this is not our battlefield. I will, however, report all of the facts pertinent to this incident to Her Grace.
Suit yourself. While you're at it, send her my regards, and a promise from the Exemplars. When the horn of the final battle sounds, the Exemplars will be the first to answer. I get that things are messed up at the Commission, but is this really all they have guarding the command center?
According to Dame Cotton and the Doctor, Rose Riverside has probably paved the way for us.
What about Manfred and his men? Afraid of getting blown up or something? If the General is still alive, there's only one place he would be, by the Regent side.
We'll have to count on the Doctor's group being able to handle the Regent. It's all yours, Vishadel.
And I thought I'd have to fight you for the mic.
Your first broadcast more than did the job, Vishadel.
Why so serious all of a sudden? About this be a bunch of crap I don't understand again?
The name Her Highness gave you holds many meanings.
I know. If they need to hear a new voice, they'll hear it. Before that, though, I want to set things up. We still need a command center to organize the withdrawal. Don't blow it up in a fit of anger. Blow it up? Of course I want to blow it up, but there's only one of it, which means I can't try all the different ways I had planned for it. W. Don't rush me, Ines. This time, I'm gonna blow it into the sky so everyone can see it. See who we are and what we want to do. Listen up, people. Bobbles captured the Military Commission Command Center. Those bastards don't know their heads from their asses right now, and nobody's got it in them to help out the crusty old Narrated King. So quit wasting time and get those feet moving. Believe me or not, whatever, just step on the gas and get this over with. Oh, and just saying, don't forget to keep your eyes on the sky.
My patriarch, that... The command structure of the Commission has collapsed. Temporary chaos is inevitable. But no matter. The long oppression may have numbed the Sarkas, but this war has reignited their hatred. A moment of fear or hesitation will not extinguish it. The Nocturne King looks up to see a frenzied flame cut open the Whale of Decay for an instant. Besides, there will be another to stand up and lead them. Bubble. first time I saw the Palace of Vestalag was 15 years ago on a 50-pound bill. It was the first time I held a wrench in my hands, and the first time I held money I'd earned myself. I rubbed the bill with my numb and tired hands. The factory door began to close behind me, but I felt as though the door to all of Terra was being opened before my eyes. A place that seemed so far away, a place where kings once sat, was right there in my hands. Why'd we stop? The area ahead is completely shrouded in fog. Captain Horn's orders are to hold the advance until we figure out what the tricks the Nachtseers are up to in there. Look at the pretty patterns on the tiles beneath our feet, though. We're close to the palace. Be patient and grab a proper weapon from camp. The Sarkas protecting this place are the worst of the worst. A wrench isn't gonna cut it. This wrench has smashed 5 Sarkas' skulls just on the way here. I can do it, whether you believe it or not. It's been 15 years since I felt like this, but now I feel like I can take that palace. Nachtseer King be damned. Wait, shush! What is it? Fog. I'll report it in. Find a safe place to hide.
You hear that sound from inside the fog? All I hear is the wind. Same sound as when I forgot to shut the gym's windows at night. If it's the wind, it's blowing against something. A flag, or clothes. Tell Vina.
In an instant, innumerable tattered rags rush out of the fog, drifting across the sky above the city like a grey-white tide. There is cloth freshly torn from clothing, and there are banners woven by hatred over the millennia. They have wrapped generation after generation of Nachtseer warriors, hiding the rot beneath, but now they fly freely in the sky, inviting all they touch to walk into decay. Bloody hell! I can't free my leg!
I got you. Get away from the cloth. I'll cover you. They'll corrode any weapon they touch. Melee units pull back and let the casters deal with them. 1st and 3rd caster battalions, volley on my mark. I can't get rid of them.
The poles are immersed in decay, the shroud drawing in death. Even the formless witchcraft of the Nachtseer has rules that can be followed. But I am unable to decipher this fog. It is neither arts nor natural.
Is this some new tactic, Logos?
They wouldn't wait this long to try a proven tactic. Perhaps Nezalem is changing. Or perhaps it's the Nachtseer themselves that are changing.
This place will soon be more dangerous than the shroud we stepped into on the battlefield outside the city. The other units must have encountered the same interference. Even sending a signal is difficult. This 300-meter plaza is enough to delay 1,000 men for days.
We must find Theresis and Amnanam. Analyze the shroud, Logos. And how's our comms equipment closure?
If we don't want the Nachtseer cutting the battlefield to itty-bitty pieces in the fog, turning our offensive into more of a buffet, we should fill the plaza with repeaters, including those curvy corridors on the sides. We don't have time to get a bunch more equipment, but luckily, I have a backup plan.
I never told them that I had never killed anyone. I did exterminate a few districts worth of must-beasts, but never a human. I never told them that it was not an arts-imbued pal I wrapped myself in, but rags taken from stolen mops. After all, I had never met another Nachtseer in all the years I grew up in the ditches of Londinium, and no one ever taught me the Nachtseer arts. I wrapped myself in mops so the Victorians wouldn't beat me to death. A mophead that killed must-beasts for them deserved to live more than the Sarkas at least.
Why are you ripping the cloth off yourselves?
Our patriarch says we need no longer hide the decay.
Should I rip mine off too then?
Of course, child.
Why doesn't it fly away like yours did? Am I missing some art?
Feel the decay within you returning to the land. Feel the withered life returning to your body. Then, rejoice.
So I should rejoice?
I beat an otter to a pulp. They said the otter could never be truly killed, so I kept swinging my wrench like my life depended on it, even though the one beneath me was no longer moving. His ugly frame was much frailer than I imagined. I broke it like the fallen branches in the snow under my feet in the winters of my childhood. They always broke with such a satisfying crack. Was the boar answering my courage? I liked the feeling. I said I could. Who said you can't truly kill an otter, huh? This one seems pretty dead to me.
Careful there! You didn't want to be near an otter corpse long.
The Nocturne warrior's body quickly collapses, losing all form and color. An invisible fog takes up the form of the dead and gently embraces their remains. It just rots on its own? That quick?
If we deny get away now, we and that body both be Nocturne food.
Bloody hell. I was thinking Nocturne weren't such bloody monsters after all, huh?
It'll be fine, alright. Where do you come from? Think about home. All that sun and hay and beer, you know? I think you'll feel a wee bit better putting all this rot out of your mind.
I'm from Londinium. All I had at home was Erdo hard enough to smash skulls.
Hi, that works.
Yeah, works for me. Death and decay are defined by silence. I never thought these Sudaram could operate so noisily. No longer do the Nocturne try to keep their nature in check. They are allowing decay to run unchecked. Meaning it will be harder to stop the spread of rot? A pair of hands cannot stop rushing water. But they can easily spray the water further. What if we diluted the rot logos?
Hang in there. You'll get better.
Do I look like I get better to you?
A natural effect of rapidly applying healing arts.
This due to the pain. It's getting better.
Do not choose to end out of pain, soldier. Endure. The pain will stop in time.
Thank you, Circus.
Listen to Liz. It'll be alright. In case of acute infection, we have to avoid rapid emotional fluctuations. Take a deep breath and... Message from the doctor, Nerl.
Shining, Nerl, Nightingale, are you in the rear?
We're at the rear camp. Just returned with a bunch of wounded.
How is Nightingale?
Weak, but she refused to abandon the injured to their fates. We'll take care of her.
I need you to pull out of the area, along with everybody in camp.
Doctor, you... Let us know if you need any support.
The Nocturne shroud won't be easily dispelled with arts. We'll divert the fog of decay to nearby areas. Do your best to ensure that no one's caught in it.
Roger. The more lives we save, the less decay there is to feed on. It's the duty of the followers, isn't it? Neural, Shining, there's no time to rest.
Liz. Liz's blue follow beast perches on Shining's shoulder, rubbing against her cheek.
Sometimes I just don't know what to do with you. Neural, go and save some lives. As for the enemy, leave them to my spear and shield. Wow, I never knew fog would be so noisy. The interference is too strong. Might be easier to yell than get a signal through. We can't place the repeaters directly on the ground. The fog eats away at the antennae. If we put up a shield... No, with interference like this, that'd just block whatever's left of the signal. What if we carry the repeaters? The fog won't eat at the equipment as long as we're still alive, right?
Closure clenches her comms terminal tightly, but she can feel the pain of its metal corners biting into her skin fading away. Her limbs are becoming numb. The fog clings to all life equally, inviting them to join the procession of decay. She knows what Fang's suggestion implies. She wants to reject it. But she does not.
You go. I'll stay here with the base station. Think, Closure, think. If this fog is from the Noctera arts, then that can't just be meaningless noise. Identify the pattern and we can filter it out. There it is. It's not noise. It's the voice of the Noctera.
Even if their flesh has decayed, even if their consciousness has long faded, the life force of the Noctera continues to sing in joy as they return to the cycle.
No idea what you're so happy about, but I'm sick of hearing it. Let me see. A little more over here.
Sure.
I'm getting a signal, but still not enough.
How about this?
That's what I'm talking about. Wait, Misery? How did you...
I can get a path through the fog for communications.
Great, now we can hear what...
3rd Caster Battalion engaged in Noctera emerging from behind the lines. Don't let them cut us off from the exemplars. The weight-bearing structure of the corridors of the sides of the plaza are heavily damaged. They're about to collapse. Watch out for falling debris.
The whole battlefield. It's connected.
Now I have killed a Victorian girl wearing a bright printed scarf on her head. Her scarf faded and her complexion twisted before my face. She became no different from the musk beasts I killed, only bigger and more hollow. Her life must have flowed into me. I find myself swinging the greatsword they gave me, almost as tall as I am. But I don't feel the ecstasy they spoke of. Ah! You're rotten too. If I don't rot, you will. Is that it? What was that? The massive explosion almost ruptures young Noctera's eardrums. A massive suit of armor flies past him. The fog gently picks away the broken limbs the armor is wearing, pale fragments dispersing with the steam. Several Sudaran fly towards it, their swords making screeching sounds on the metal, piercing the dull thud of originium explosives. Metal. Hell. Decay. The young Noctera has no time to look back. heavy metal legs break the fog in front of him, blocking out the already dim sunlight. How many years do you think it took us to build a crawler? You think we'll let you eat it? Armor plate to the port side foreleg. Does the main gun still turn? 2 o'clock, fire! Blast a path through the suit arm for the steam knight! The young Nocturne falls to the ground. Cold blood immediately seeps through the remaining mop cloth, as though he was born to wipe such filth. But why was he born too? He has no time to think about the answer. A great iron hammer is raised above his head, its glaring reflection in his eyes. No! I don't want to... You don't want to die. A tide of rot rushes past him, and the hammer falls to the ground as scrap. My patriarch! I'm sorry, I didn't... But please don't punish me. I'm not a deserter, I just... If you have yet to fully comprehend war, then you are no deserter. It is not yours to give up your life so easily in. Your war has yet to come. Go.
The fog, it's fading. More and more wounded are being evacuated before they die. The Nocturne are being deprived of the rot they feed on.
Disperse. The fog is thinning. Even I can breathe now.
Wait, you couldn't breathe at all this time, Doctor? Oh, why didn't you say anything?
It wasn't that bad. It's just better now. This won't last for long. Shining reports that the fog that had been diverted elsewhere is returning. We must move.
Doctor!
Monster. Perish. You feel a sense of deja vu. It is not that any memories came back to you. It is that once again you sense how tiny and frail your life is. A blade of grass in the wilderness. What is one blade or 1,000 in the presence of death? You will all become nutrition for the next year's sprouts. The tide of rot crosses Amiya's black curtain, Monster's massive frame, and Logos' wall of incantations, rushing towards you. The next instant, it comes to an abrupt halt. It is you. It is me. What? You have kept your promise. Monster, structural fortification, protect the doctor. There is no need, Dame. I shall not fight you here. Even though this is a battlefield? Precisely because it is a battlefield. You do not belong to this battlefield of mine. Every second you spend here is an insult to it. War doesn't belong to anyone. It only destroys everyone. How arrogant. No matter. This war that has nurtured me, this war I have nurtured, is now over. Even if it has cycled back and forth for 1,000 years in the most uninteresting manner, even the pain it gave rise to has become numbness. This war has achieved its goal. Now, these Sarkas are masters of their own destiny. The Amnanan in Theresis' hands. Theresis? No. The Amnanan is in the hands of all Sarkas. scattered across the land for 1,000 years. From this war, they will come away with power, freedom, and a future. What is left for me is the purest afterglow of war, one that knows no purpose but war itself.
If there is no purpose, then why do you...
Outblood, child. So eager to put a stop to everything you do not wish to see. If you see war as only evil, suffering as only a mistake, and sacrifice as only a waste, then you can bring neither destruction nor rebirth.
Should I take this as the god of war advising the king of Sarkas?
Very good. Finally, you call yourself king. But it is not advice. My war may have won the Sarkas a future, but it is not my place to dictate what it is. My place is only to fulfill the very nature of my being.
To spread decay? To nurture new life?
To me, decay and rebirth are one and the same. As for you, ageless Dame, Outblood King, and you, it is not my place to judge you. Go. Theresis awaits.
Behind the Naxxramas king, the ranks of Sarkas part silently. They reveal a black path beneath white shroud, white bones, and white pall. Doctor, only by taking down Theresis and Amnanam will we truly bring an end to this calamity. We're with you, Doctor. This is the moment Rhode Island had to prepare for. There is no need to hesitate. And the Naxxramas king? My vessel shall disperse the fog. If we triumph, we will not celebrate victory alone. Through the fog, you can see the faint silhouette of a tank, the gushing steam of a steam knight, exemplars and alliance soldiers fighting side by side. You hear the communications of Closure, Vishadel, and the others. All of them fighting for the same end. An end to this war. Let's go meet Theresis.
You have crossed the waste of Nefafanel and witnessed the dim candlelight of the other side. Go. I do not wish to fight you. Sing once more, when all decay has returned to the soil, when all war drums are silent. Your end does not lie here.
The Banshee shakes his head and says nothing. His bone pen floats up in front of him.
So be it. I do envy Lakaramalin.
The Naxxramas king spreads his arms wide. The Banshee begins to move his bone pen. 1,000 branches rise from the Naxxramas, formed of flesh, blood, and bone. 1,000 incantations are etched by the point of the Banshee's pen, in opposition to the decay. 1,000 branches spread out on the battlefield. Every Naxxramas corpse they touch, from the ethereal remains of the ancient Sudaram to the yet unrotten flesh of young Naxxramas warriors, blooms in flowers of decay.
Once again, the Nachtseher rise from decay. Once again, the fearless charge forth in the incantations of the Banshee. The Palace of Vestalek, it wasn't grand at all. In fact, it looks even more decrepit than what I saw on that bill 15 years ago. Blood and flesh covering my hands feel more real. I stopped counting the number of sarkas I put down. It must have been a lot, because my wrench broke. I see him! That must be the Nachtseher King! Wait, this is as far as I can go. You can't charge in bare-handed. Take the sword. The size of kings. My daughter liked to rub my arms when I was lying face down on the bed. She said it was fun because my muscles were so hard. I would pet her shoulder and tell her she could become just as strong enough to lift a whole pile of steel bars. Holding this sword in my hand, I stab at the mountain of branches under me and climb it. But how do I reach the enemy floating in midair?
For Victoria!
I see the Steam Knight charge towards death. I hear a sharp whistle in my ear. I feel the ground trembling from the guns of the tank. The elusive, terrifying white figure in the sky stops for an instant. Then the Steam Knight dives from the sky, sending the Nachtseher King crashing to the ground. He's so close. I am beginning to fall in love with war. I leap from the mountain of branches and put the sword through the Nachtseher King. I can even feel my eyes burn at the heat gushing from the Steam Knight as it breathes. Victorian, you have learned to draw life from war. Now you must learn to return it to war. It was no use at all. I am thrown a great distance. I can no longer feel my own body. I see the Nachtseher King once again rise into the sky, the Steam Knight wrapped in a frenzy of white cloth. The strange Sarkas casting his arts, cutting a path towards the Nachtseher King. Familiar faces treading the death-filled path toward that seemingly insurmountable foe with no hint of hesitation. The fog seems to be dispersing. I see the massive four-legged tank advance. Why is there a golden-haired Kuranta here? What are those strange contraptions that have appeared on the battlefield, making a strange sound? I see Her Highness, our hero, Vina Victoria, the returned king, leading more and more people forward. For Victoria. I seem to see the end of the war. The Nachtseher King's silhouette overlaps with the sun. It is bright. Before him gathers those eager to end the war. I can no longer see what happens next. Where did the sword go? Sorry, my girl. Your daddy's not coming home. Soul Furnace of Kazdel, Eve of Babel, Exodus 1086.
So you've chosen to answer Therese's call to arms, even though the war will destroy you.
Has your crown shown you my end, Your Highness?
No, we simply understand full well that the only end of war is destruction.
What is there to fear in destruction? The first Nocturne learned our purpose when he rose from the ashes of war. I am the end of all things. The great boulder of war sits above our heads on the slopes of time. All we can do is push it with all our might. This time, however, Theresis has promised me an end to the cycle. Adieu. Do you remember?
I do, at the founding of the military commission. But we have found another path.
Then prove it to me, Your Highness. I will wait. Even if you do not find your end, however, I will carve out another path for the Sarkas.
I can see your emotions. You are excited about this path.
I have waited too long, since that war 200 years ago. Farewell, Your Highness. I will witness the conclusion of your dispute with the Regent.
Babel will return.
I have never doubted it, nor have I doubted your promise.
Farewell.
The rays of dawn shine from the pinnacle of the Palace of Vestalag. They drive away the fog, revealing the aftermath of battle.
The fog is gone. So is the Nocturne King. Did we win? He's dead, right? In it? I still sense that suffocating presence. We'll need to get used to it. There is much to be done.
The daybreak was unfamiliar to those returning home or to those on the battlefield. Morning rays poured down like blood over the carpet of bodies on the ground. Is this what the sunrise always looked like in Londinium? No, never. The cold dawn pours blood towards the skyline, toward the winding mountains in the distance, like an ocean of blood. The few cries of joy from the crowd quickly fall silent. This is not how anyone imagined the glory of victory. It's over.
But who can truly kill war?
No one can kill war. Do you still sense his presence, Your Highness?
He has unfortunately given himself to death. But you are correct. War will never end. He merely left because this particular war is over. I almost envy him. He has taken so many people along with him, all to enjoy a war that belonged only to him.
I have lost another fine opponent.
Yes, the old man really is dead.
No time to mull over it. The Victorians could begin their purge at any moment.
There's a lot on your mind.
There's just something I'm not sure about. I have this feeling that when the next war to change the history of Terra comes... No, I'm probably overthinking it. In the silence, only the lonely sound of a bone whistle reaches the pitch-black underground throne room. It is the Banshee's elegy for the dead. Is the regent gone? Did you hear it? What is your true plan? There is no answer. The regent of Kasdal, the one who began this war, is not here. He closes his eyes and seems to see a river of blood flowing towards the sky. Manfred cannot even tell what became of the Sarka's hero who left so many legends behind. But he sees an image in his mind's eye. When the fires of war once again ravage Kasdal, death shall emerge from the mountains on the skyline. So, this cutscene took a long-ass while to record, I will not even lie, this was one day by itself. Jeez. It was an epic cutscene, I will not lie, it was pretty interesting to watch, pretty much the final moments of the war against the Sarkas in Victoria. Something that we've already kind of partially saw, well, more than partially, but pretty well saw in the Grand Overture story brought up, but here we saw a couple of extra details along the lines who else was present in these final moments, like for example Nerl being there with the followers, essentially Shining and Nightingale, helping out people in the background, then actually Rhode Island's team being also very present in the final battle at the Palace of Vestaleg, and we saw, which was. And I don't know fully how to feel about seeing, now having a face to the guy, because in Grand Overture we did see, or rather we did hear about how pretty much it became a myth of when Vina started handing out the sword to the first person that was an actual character that we met in Grand Overture, but it was a more of a poetic way of retelling how the sword got handed to one person and then it went from one hand to the other hand to the other hand to the other hand until it finally landed in the chest of the Nachtzer King in the Netherlands, ending Netherlands' life essentially. But from what we've seen here, number one, we saw the last guy wielding the sword apparently, but that didn't kill Netherlands yet as he rose back into the air and then probably got finished off. But yeah, I don't know how to feel about it because I kind of like the Grand Overture retelling of it a lot more. Like it left a poetic sense of, yeah, it was Victoria itself that ended the death and decay and the war. Like Victoria itself stood up finally and did something. But here we have the final person, which again, I don't know how to feel about that, but I do know how to feel about the juxtaposition between him, this French guy, and the cloth guy, the young Nachtzerer that was picked up in Londinium, who lived his life in Londinium and was just dragged into this war essentially. I do like the juxtaposition, like I just said, between these two characters. Like this Londinium, this guy from Londinium who is just a factory worker who became so engrossed in war that even war itself acknowledged him as in, yep, you're deep in this, boy, now reap the consequences. And so he does. While the young guy from the Nachtzerers who takes a life and still is in the headspace of, this is not what I want. This is not what I want to do. This is not how I want this to go. And doesn't want to... It's pretty much a rejection towards war and everything, where war himself sends him off. Not your time yet, buddy. Go. I do like the duality of these two characters. That was pretty cool. But overall, very cool cutscene. Very long cutscene. Was very entertaining. And a pain in the ass to record. But anyway, off to our finale. All the Unrevealed. Time to see where this ends. Lifebone, October 1098, during the retreat of the Sarkas forces.
Hodor, I brought along everyone who agreed to use the bones to retreat. Most of them wouldn't be able to withstand the long journey. The old, the young, and more injured Sarkas than you can count. W said, and I quote, "Let them die if they want." But the other members of her squad carried them here. Somehow, she still has quite a few living subordinates, enough to maintain order within the Lifebone and watch over Ursula in captivity. So at least you won't have to worry about having no one to take the wheel if you accidentally die on the road.
Got it.
What are you waiting for?
The Lifebone casts a shadow over the ruins of the battlefield. None of the Sarkas raise their heads. They may already know of, or are even grown accustomed to, the greater shadow that will soon envelop their kilometer-long procession. Most of them move slowly as they cross the trenches left behind by the high-speed battleships. I was just thinking, look how long the line of soldiers is. We've all traveled that road from Kasdal to Victoria before. We all know how long it is.
But if the Victorians break their word and open fire on the retreating Sarkas forces, there'll be nothing you can do about it.
Yes, that's how it's always been. Maybe not immediately, but after the signal we sent to all of Terra, every nation will be forced to respond.
Are you sure that will work? Such a blatant retreat back to Kasdal will probably cause many countries to panic.
But there really is no better way. Our squad must continue to present the strongest possible front to all factions. The moment we lose the strength to wield our weapons, we'll be devoured without a trace. The same goes for the new King of Sarkas. We must seize the initiative here. The airship in the distance is faintly visible through the bones, and the ship's cannons remain locked in targeting mode. A massive catastrophe cloud still hovers around the ship, following the Sarkas forces as they retreat.
But there's something else that's got me very worried. Are you sure it's a good idea to have W guard Manfred?
She's the best for the job. Meanwhile, over in Columbia, the squad has reached its destination. The weather is clear, and visibility is good.
Keep looking to the southeast. We've received the latest intelligence from the Ministry of Defense, which includes Kasdal's approximate coordinates. Please closely monitor the Sarkas army to ensure their retreat home isn't a cover for another military maneuver.
Understood. The officer does not, in fact, understand why he needs to monitor the Sarkas. However, out of respect for his comrades, he sits in the reconnaissance vehicle and stares intently at the data being sent back by the drones. All is calm. There's nothing unusual to report at the moment, sir. By the way, and I'm just making small talk, Mainlander rarely sends someone of your status to liaise with the military.
The Victorians think they've done a fine job covering up the disaster in Londinium. Mainlander needs to investigate the situation before we have a talk with them.
Understood.
Lieutenant! Lieutenant! You are to report any new developments immediately.
Of course, sir. There's nothing to report right now.
Nothing at all?
But wait, what's that? The officer puts down the communicator. The catastrophe detection system on the vehicle is blaring an alarm. He looks toward the capital district, but at this distance he can barely make out the outline of the Manic City. But he can clearly see the massive shadow cast by the catastrophe cloud, stretching from above the capital district all the way to where he stands. Switching over to Lethanian. Yes, he knows you are familiar with the people of Siracusa, so he hopes you'll have a chance to display your talents this time. Not to worry, the Sarkas hordes are a chaotic, calamitous force, but they are ultimately mercenaries. We are now well aware that our neighbor Victoria has failed to keep them on tight leash. But I shall not allow such filth to disrupt Lithanian's glorious Guldeneskazats. Of this I am quite certain. Please send this message along to your master... The noble is interrupted by a suddenly darkening sky. What is going on? Come inside with me now, sir. It's a catastrophe. Back to Columbia. Contact the base for further orders. Damn! We've got no signal. What the hell is going on? Push the fleet forward. Full throttle. Wait. The data from the catastrophe detection system sends a chill down his spine. The cloud has stopped expanding, just as suddenly as it had appeared a few minutes ago. The strong wind blows originium dust up into the sky, but it doesn't fall back down. Then the cloud starts to dissipate as the sunlight peeks through.
Can you hear me, Lieutenant?
Yes, sir. The catastrophe cloud appeared out of nowhere. There were no signs at all before it happened.
Of course. This was meant as a display, a show of force to intimidate us.
You think the Sarkas troops did this?
Melander no longer requires your help with our investigation. Please withdraw at once. Of course, do not disclose any information about our cooperation.
Yes, sir.
May Terra bless us.
Over in Casimir's? Enough. Deactivate the tip line. We have more than enough eyewitness accounts of the catastrophe cloud. Everyone saw what happened. Those of us living in the high-rises got an even closer look. For now, I need all of you to come up with an explanation and file your stories. Everyone writes a report. Whether you explain it away as an advertising hologram or new arts from Lithanian, that's up to you. Do you need anything else? Sir, this call wasn't from a citizen. We just received word from our messengers. Zwillingsturme, Laterano, Montelup, catastrophe clouds have appeared over the cities of every nation. What about Deity Griffenberg and Max DC? Same situation.
That little nanum thingy-magic is pretty handy. It can send a catastrophe to someone's doorstep before it can blink. No wonder the doctor and the hag were so nervous when we came to take it away, and the little bunny insisted on tagging along to keep an eye on me. What if we just, destroyed every capital of the core at once?
Well, it may indeed be able to rain down disaster on those nations. That doesn't mean it can destroy them. I have no doubt that doing so would bring nothing but retaliation against Kazdal. Our history has repeatedly proven this, even from the earliest records. It would be unwise, Vishadel. In fact, you must use Amnanan sparingly. The strain it places on the mind and body is even greater than I imagined. You just experienced that pain firsthand.
You don't get to tell me that, Manfred.
Amnanan's potential extends far beyond intimidation, assuming we figure out the proper use for it. Their Highnesses had much higher hopes for it. Yes, it is a weapon, a deterrent, but more importantly, it is the means by which we will break free from our destiny.
You know, you're even more annoying than Horderer. Don't forget who you are, dude. You're a prisoner, and we're only keeping you alive cause Kazdal needs you alive. Hell, the only reason we let the military commission stick around is that the surviving Sarka still needs something to believe in on the way home. Fucking Theresis sure thought of everything, huh?
I'm guessing Horderer saw this coming long ago too, didn't he? This was always the Regent's overt strategy, to reunite the people, brought together once more by hatred around Kazdal. Even Babel and the military commission are working together again, united toward a common goal.
Yeah, but don't expect to wriggle your way out of this one, Manfred. Remember what I said.
Vishadel.
What? Still got more to say?
If, someday, Kazdal really does normalize its relations with the other nations, just as Her Highness Theresa once strived for, then I, along with the rest of the military commission, will have to draw a clear line between ourselves and Kazdal. As the Sarkas see it, outbloods bring only pain and hatred, just as we do to them. Sooner or later, they will claim that we haven't paid for the crimes we have committed. And on that day, I will be waiting for those hateful avengers to find us.
Just shut up already. Stop acting like you're a saint or whatever. Therese's and the rest of you assholes screwed up big time. You were so goddamn stupid. I wish I could blow you up to pieces right now. Don't forget, almost all the lunatics who actually believed in your plan died in Londinium, along with the Nazar. You killed them with your own hands. There were hardly any left to even evacuate. But the Sarkas will pay for their own mistakes. Babel's not so spineless as to cast the entire commission from the city just because a few dumbasses were bold enough to provoke Kazdal. Her Highness would never do that, and neither will I. If they're stupid enough to come, I don't mind giving them a fight. But if you keep talking shit, I'll just toss you over to someone who's willing to put up with your crap.
You're not afraid of it? Look at the moving catastrophe cloud over there. It seems so far away, but I can't shake the feeling it might suddenly appear right above my head. Of course I'm afraid. Who isn't afraid of catastrophes? But there's a trick I picked up in Sami. Whenever I'm scared, I just pull my hat over my head, crouch down and think of something happy. The things you're afraid of will disappear before you even know it. After all, I'm just minding my own business. They wouldn't give me a hard time for no reason, would they? Just last week, you said you lost count of how many times you'd been captured and interrogated by one of the Familia. I'm sorry for the trouble. But misunderstandings always get cleared up in the end. I mean, you guys did let me go, didn't you? I really can't figure out how you managed to make it all the way through Sami and Ursus in one piece. You ain't lying about that too, are ya? I just happen to come across perfectly reasonable people like you all the time. Try reason your way out of a catastrophe then. Remind me again where you're going? Some place called Black Flow? Yes, and I'm also going home, friend. Back home to Bolivar. That's one long-ass journey. An extra day or two will make a difference. Besides, that tattered paper talisman you're carrying ain't gonna expire. Anyhow, I advise you to wait for that parade of crazies to pass. They started a war. They can destroy cities. Or maybe wait for someone or something else to test out the catastrophe for you. Just some friendly advice. Those devils are bold as hell. Someone's bound to try and take a bite out of them sooner or later. You can hear the terrifying roar of the catastrophe cloud off in the distance, along with the faint rumble of battleship engines. The Syracusan is right. It may be wiser not to get involved in this. However... Buddy Akaka, you ain't actually fascinated by that cloud, are ya? Maybe I am. I find it hard to hide my excitement whenever I encounter something I've never seen before. True, I paid a price for it back in Sami, but I just can't get rid of this bad habit. To be more precise, I want to take a look at the people walking beneath the catastrophe cloud. How's it going? I hope no one is giving you any trouble. Just another ordinary funeral. A funeral beneath a catastrophe cloud is hardly ordinary. It's unfair to so many. They should have been able to return to Kazdal with us. Death is the one form of equality most readily attainable to all misery. The vast majority of the deceased have no relatives, nor even names. When I asked them to leave their final words, they could not even identify anyone who might remember them after they were gone. I shrouded the burial site in mist to keep beasts away. Unfortunately, most of the dead were still unable to return to the furnace at home as they wished. Logos, do you know what lies further up ahead? My previous missions rarely required me to come this way. Laterano is just south of here, not far. When Outcast and I went on missions together in this area, she'd often bring me here to drink. We once made a foolish bet that I'd find a way to sneak in and try Lateran ice cream. Well, I did. No one caught me. But I never got the chance to tell her. At least, I'm not the one breaking my promise this time. So you deliberately refused the order to return to the ship with Ascalon. You knew we'd passed through here during the retreat. Don't try to guess my intentions, Logos. With Ascalon here, we'll have no issues escorting our fallen comrades and their tokens back to the ship. Besides, she also needs some time to herself, to say goodbye to the past. I tried speaking to her about the retreat, but she remained silent. Perhaps she won't have anything to say about what happens next either. She witnessed the end of an era, Logos. It couldn't have been easy for her, and I fear we'll have one less participant at our future meetings. Misery lets out another sigh. No one can say for sure what will happen next. It's just like the catastrophe cloud above our heads. I may not like this plan, but I must admit it's the best deterrent we have against those who wish to seize the chance to declare war on the Sarkas. Without a strong measure like that to avoid war, there would only be more unnecessary sacrifices on the road back to Kazdal. Violence is a means, never an end. There is nothing wrong with that. Maybe I'm just a pessimist, but I still think the rain will come down, sooner or later.
So, can you let me go?
Who the hell are you anyway?
I'm really just an explorer.
What kind of explorer could stop the lightning in a catastrophe cloud? It's like the thunderbolts themselves are afraid of you.
Maybe they've taken a liking to me? See? A few of them just landed right next to me.
You do realize that just makes you even more suspicious, right? Personally, I think the catastrophe is sending a clear message. Don't come near us, and don't try and test us.
Now, let's not be hasty. I just wanted to study the strange catastrophe cloud you created, as well as remind you that...
I don't like you. You tell too many lies.
The Sarkas mercenary seizes up the man standing before him, and hesitates about whether to make a move. This guy's the one you were talking about? He looks pretty normal to me. You sure you got this right, old geezer?
He's giving off a particular scent, one I loathe.
In an ancient Sarkas language,
Shmal the Ka. Enemies from outside. No, it is not coming from him. It is what he brought with him. Strange. It seems to be a piece of paper.
You really are confused, you old coot. So does this mean we don't need to worry about him anymore? Hey, why aren't you saying anything?
Boss, I
told you call me chairman from now on. What a pain in the ass. Why did Hodder have to make up all these stupid rules? Only Her Highness should be called chairman. Anyway, your squad's out here to scout, so just keep on scouting. Leave this cat to me.
got it.
You, if you've got something to say, say it. Don't try and pull a fast one on me. I guarantee I'm faster than you.
There's a fleet heading your way. Don't know which nation they're from. They've disabled all identifying signals. They're coming from that direction. The terrain provides a lot of cover. It would be easy to plan an ambush.
I guess everyone wants in on this. What a bunch of cowards. Afraid of us, and always acting cocky. Alright, I'll pass on the word to the guys charging to their deaths on the front lines. Hello, can you hear me? While you're out there, watch out for an ambush. So as a thank you, how about I invite you to watch the catastrophe cloud with me? You're here to explore, right?
I'd really rather not. I'm shaking in my boots here.
Alright, your loss. Now scram. If any clueless Sarkas grabs you again, just tell them who let you go. Wish Adel.
You have my thanks. That sure was a close call. If you hadn't rescued me, this journey would have been my last.
Drop the act around me. I know you got caught on purpose. It's so weird. Why do I keep running into people who have nothing to do with the Sarkas, but want to help anyway?
The Liberi eyes the seemingly relaxed Sarkas before him, quickly realizing she's likely the leader of the group, and that her attention has long since shifted away from him. She is focused on the distant horizon. She is heeding his warning. The wind brings with it the sounds of the land, or maybe the rumbling of ships' engines. Conflicts, wars. The explorer has already seen too much along the way. As always, we don't want to be the ones waiting for a beating. All the arts creations we sent out have been destroyed. They know we're getting closer, but they never planned on hiding anyway. Some unlucky souls have to be sent to their deaths so the others can board the ship and fight. Will it be your squad or mine? Follow the orders of Babel and the military commission. This isn't for you to decide on your own. Kill every hostile you encounter. Anyone in the squad who spares an enemy or takes spoils from their comrades, kill them too. Prepare the explosives. Set up altars along the route. Normally the altars' arts can't penetrate the armor of high-speed battleships, but this time we have the catastrophe cloud on our side. They're here. I knew going home wouldn't be that easy. The earth is shaking. The high-speed battleships slowly emerge from the shadows, blocking the Sarkas' path forward. The warrior launched a few charges like this while in Londinium, and considers himself one of the fortunate few. He also knows full well that the path back to Kazdal is not a road but a battlefield, full of corpses and awash in blood. The Sarkas procession stops at the edge of the firing range of the battleship's cannons. The sky grows dark as the black cloud overhead lets loose with rolling thunder. Their enemy is approaching.
Everyone, commence preparations like you were ordered. Each of you, just do your own job. I don't want to catch any idiots of you showing off.
Halt! You may not advance any further.
Only a few Sarkas have noticed the young Kautus girl within their ranks. She marches towards the head of the line. Then, with a wave of her staff, the girl draws a line behind where she stands. The black line spreads across the earth. A black wall rises up where the line once was. An impregnable wall, woven of black silk threads, separates the two opposing forces. The Sarkas can no longer see the cultist girl on the other side of the wall. But one thing remains imprinted in their memories, the black crown floating above her head. The King of Sarkas. Their king has not abandoned them. They have a new king. But why an outblood king? The new king's voice resonates in their minds of every Sarkas present. Meanwhile, the fleet sent to block them clearly hears her words.
These Sarkas are going home. I will not rule out violence if necessary. I know full well the weight of this black crown. Theresa has already led the myriad souls away. For the first time, these Sarkas have a choice. I will not let her efforts be in vain. Nor do I want the Sarkas, or any of you, to start another war. The cycle of hatred and revenge must end.
This is the first time Amiya has openly revealed her identity since Theresa told her all there was to know about the Black Crown inside the assimilated universe. Now she can hear the noisy cries from amidst the Sarkas.
Impossible! It can't be!
An outblood stole the Sarkas' crown? How? Why?
She's our king? Do I have to make a tribute? What does she want from us? Let's go! It's on to the next battlefield!
Terror, suspicion, reverence, ecstasy, a wave of emotions floods Amiya's mind. In the past, she has made several attempts to explore the information stored within the Black Crown, but she has never gone this far. The tide of information nearly overwhelms her. For millennia, the Sarkas have desperately sought their king, chasing an elusive vision. She tries her best to steady her thoughts and maintain the unshakable black wall.
I am no ruler, nor am I the king of Sarkas. If the Sarkas hate me for this, I will accept that. I will show them the way forward, the path to end their suffering. Both sides should stand down. There won't be any more war.
The Black Crown still stands, just as the catastrophe swirls above the wilderness. After a long stalemate, the first battleship in the fleet begins to change direction.
Great. Finally.
The wave of thoughts suddenly fade away, and she hears an unusually clear voice. Who are you? Remain silent, as His Holiness commanded. Even though the Sarkas have committed countless crimes within our holy city, even though Laterano has never before faced such provocation and desecration, even though their army is openly threatening the safety of our residents, even then we will not respond? Yes, His Holiness believes that Laterano should not interfere in this matter. I wish to see him. I'm going to file a protest. We are unsure where he is right now. The sudden disturbance of the halo and the flood of information. For whatever reason, it suddenly became aware of something. A conversation. It is having a conversation with something similar to itself. Since it has decided to make its choice, I am afraid I must follow suit. The new revelation it has showed us is something Laterano can no longer bear on its own. Let me think. Let's start with the first question. Who are you?
I have to admit, Your Holiness, that this is a long road. Even without the whispers of the myriad souls trapped in Originium for millennia, it will still take a long time for the Sarkas and this land to let go of their hatred.
Well then, Amiya, my child, what if we do not have that much time? What if Terra is no longer in its infancy and has come to the point where it has to face its future?
Theresa warned me this might happen.
Someone walks into the static void. He is following someone else's footsteps, although their footprints have vanished from this place forever. The tower is still collapsing, a hint at everything that has transpired. Although time has no meaning here, he must admit that he's a step late. She is already completely out of reach. Now all he can see is the golden ocean and the lonely diamond in the sky. Amiya, not even I, the Pope, know when or where the disaster will occur. But I am certain that it will be a crisis that we've never faced before. It is right before our eyes. And there we go. That was our final part. And yeah, it does end with a cliffhanger for whatever is gonna be coming next. But yeah, they didn't show the acquisition of Amnanam itself. They just pretty much jumped from the ending of Death to Unrevealed. Immediately from we went into the chamber down below to collect it, which I guess Amnanam was just there or something, and we got it plus Manfred. And then we continue on here with the exodus of the Sarkas and the showcase of power, essentially, with the Amnanam in hand, which apparently is being currently wielded by by Vishadel. Is that safe? I don't know, but sure. But yeah, Amnanam will in the future end up in the Soul Furnace. That's as much as I'm gonna tell, because we do have a story that actually mentions that a bit more further about the transition between the current Soul Furnace and Amnanam taking the place of the Revenants in the Soul Furnace. For that, Casdelian Rescue, can only recommend. It's also the prequel story for IS-5. That's over there. But yeah, very interesting. They did like intimidate the nations around the globe, essentially, with a display of power and showcase of, hey, do not screw with us. We can cause a catastrophe in any of your cities. Stop it. And yeah, this is also why in the description of this video you can find playlists for the Laterano and Leithanian stories, aka the Vatican and Germany. But yeah, you can find the two playlist categories essentially in the description of the video. I would honestly highly recommend, because the way this has ended right now, it seems that main story and the future already running side stories will interact way more. Like, the Laterano stuff has already been building up to something along the lines that some kind of future disaster is gonna happen in Laterano or just the world in general. I mean, not to go into too much detail for people who haven't been, who haven't seen the stories yet, but the law that we just saw as well in the cutscene, that supercomputer looking thing, that pretty much governs over the Laterano people, it has already started producing, in the story so far, started producing
like signs of something is about to happen. Hey, I need to start preparing for this. Hey, let me start announcing saints who are gonna be like my direct direct guns in hand, essentially, aka Executor Alter. That's his origin pretty much. But also, just to add to this, technically speaking, if you right now jump into the Laterano stories, for example, the Laterano stories are taking place after this. I don't know when chapter 15 will pick up, like in which year, but the ending of this, where we are right now, with unrevealed as they are leaving in that cutscene Londinium and heading back to Kazdel, this is taking place at the butt end of the year 1098. And the Laterano stories, the first one, God Ahead, begins in 1099. And the second one, Hortus de Escapismo, takes place right after that, in the same year. So you have a continuation already of this, just in the form of the Laterano arc, which will definitely bridge into main story probably, but more than likely, I have no idea, I'm just speculating. We do already obviously know that there's gonna be a Laterano story coming, like in a very short few months. I believe whatever was here will also be bridging into that story, leading up to it. So yeah, get caught up on the Laterano story, it's gonna be probably very important. Lethanian was also showcased here in the final scene, plus Columbia a bit as well. But Columbia, so far we only have one story taking place there, like one major story, not counting stuff like the summer event stories. Those are very standalone and taking place, you know, on like fringe territory of Columbia essentially, with Siesta and stuff. But the major Columbia story that we had so far has obviously been Lone Trail. But the more important story in here that also interacts with the Laterano story, that did come up here as well, was Lethanian. That storyline also intersects with Laterano and will more than likely in the future intersect with main story. Look, at this point it has to be clear that a lot of these side stories, the long-running ones, are gonna just bridge more and more into main story and back and forth and back and forth. There's an intermingle happening. All of them are obviously their own thing and can be followed in any given way, but they are also interacting very heavily. There is a reason why they keep bringing back and continuing storylines set in these nations essentially, and continuing developing them. And yeah, the reason is they're all interacting, of course, and they're all gonna be supporting each other as probably the story keeps going forward. So yeah, enjoy if you're gonna be catching up with them. But anyway, final words on this collection of stories. I would say the last three were pretty epic. I will not lie, the last three were pretty dope, especially the last one. The final scene with Theresis again. The guy was there. I'm actually surprised that the guy was there and he didn't even speak. He was just there, but my god, the guy just keeps... Every scene recently he's in, he just feels like he's collecting massive L's. Like, he is late. He's continuously late to do something to save his sister or to see her one more time. Just a tad bit too late. I wonder what's gonna happen next to him. He is inside of the thing. He is right there as the tower is collapsing and everything. I guess he's gonna re-emerge somewhere. I don't know where, but he is not done yet. He has a grudge, as we've seen before. He has a grudge, especially a very peculiar one towards the Doctor. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah. Oh, and also more importantly, there was a new character in the last story again. Another new, completely very highly detailed new character, and this one has a way more interesting name than the previous guy. Pariakaka. I was like, okay, that has to be something, because it reminded me immediately of Ho'oheliak. Like, it had that Incan Mayan kind of naming sense to it, so you're probably gonna see it in the clip section where I read a segment from the wiki. Because yeah, there is a wiki entry for this this name essentially from I think it was from Incan mythology, and I can't remember exactly what the Incan, I think it was a god or something that was that was using that name, but there is a very deep meaning behind this name. And I don't know if the guy is a Kukulkan like Hoheliak. He is a Liberi. Obviously, we don't see here. Probably there is probably a data mine model of his, but I haven't seen it yet, so I have no idea. But if he is a Kukulkan like Hoheliak, that would be very interesting. Because he definitely feels like one. He definitely, especially with that name, he definitely feels like one. But yeah, overall, this was a very interesting story collection. From the stories in general, I would say, again, the last three were very interesting and they were obviously building up to something grand. The story for Novell was, in my opinion, very, very good. Very good characterization for him as a character, but also it was also a conclusion to his whole arc, I would say. I don't know if they're gonna bring him back in some capacity in the future, but this kind of rounded him up. He's done. He has no reason to like appear in a major role outside of some kind of supporting capacity. His whole shtick is done. He is mortal again. That was all he wanted. The Tallulah thing is definitely leading up to something in the future. We'll see about that. The first story here with Ablana will be bridging probably into the Ablana story that's coming very soon. In like, what, 2 weeks from now, approximately. And it was just a nice display of showcase of mostly Reed's growth as a character. Again, for people who have followed along with all the Reed stuff as well, throughout both main story and the one side story that features Reed heavily, this was a good showcase of her growth as a character and as a person as well. The Rose Riverside story, like I said earlier, was good. I enjoyed it a lot. Was a nice showcase of the character and just her personality in general. I do feel like, again, when a new 6-star gets introduced, I like it more when there is a full-on story surrounding them, and you get, you know, to experience the character in full, and build up their background a bit more. This was good, but it's one of those things I wish there was more. Because I feel bad for the new 6-star when they get introduced in this kind of very short capacity. You don't get enough, essentially. But we'll see. She's someone who is definitely connected to Rhode Island deeply, and in a sense as well. Plus, her story with trying to find her princess is not done yet. So this will definitely continue at some point in the future. Another Breath of Death, I said this earlier, was epic as all hell from start to finish. Seeing those final moments and stuff. Could it have fit into the main story, or rather in Grand Overture where it was already covered? It could have, but at the same time, this was like a full hour, plus there was a shit ton of NPCs. By the way, I want to stress, there were 20, if I include the Doctor, there were 25, I believe, voiced characters, and by that I mean operators. If you also count the Doctor amongst those 25, of course. But 25 major operator characters were present in this story, even if some of them appear for like four text lines. But they were still there, and then on top of it, there was at least 6 or 7 side characters that are like both minor and major roles in this whole story. So we're talking about a story with 30 characters. Usually 30 characters appear in a whole big story in general. in total. Here we had 30 in like an hour. That was... I don't even want to go there. I lost my head. I lost my mind. There's gonna be probably a compilation in the clip section if I can find all the moments from the raw recording where I'm just progressively losing my collective mind because they keep introducing more characters. But it was good. It was very good in general. And yeah, the finale is... I mean, I don't need to say much about the finale. Amiya doing epic shit. Announcing herself as the King of Sarkas finally, like officially. So this obviously is a thing that is fully official going forward. I mean, again, we've already kind of heard about this in the Kazelian rescue story, which takes place further ahead in time, of course. And we already heard there a bit that Amiya is looked at as the king of Sarkas. She, in the Kazdelian rescue story, she is still somewhere present in the background there in Kazdel, helping with the reconstruction and everything. But yeah, this was very good. this was a very good one. Seeing as well the new character, who the hell knows when he's gonna reappear. He's probably gonna reappear in some Colombian story in the future, or Bolivar story, considering what he just said, essentially. And yeah, interesting stuff. I will say though, while the section at the end of the story was very serious, a very serious conversation between Amiya and the Pope, I do want just a scene in the future of actually Amiya physically, because this was through some kind of type of communication between the two of them, going there probably. But I want, because it's probably gonna happen, it's probably gonna happen, let's be real here, but I want a future scene of Amiya and the Pope just in a room talking to each other. There can be other characters present. I just want them present between each other and talking, because all we know about the Pope so far, yes, he has his serious moments and everything, but the guy is essentially a combination between a Santa Claus and a grandfather. And I want Amiya there in front of him, and him just being, oh, look at this child, candy. I just want it to be the grandfather that hands out Murders Originals to grandchildren. It would be very, very funny and very wholesome. And just a confused Amiya of, she's going full serious into a conversation in there, and the guy is just like, oh. just going full grandfather mode. But anyway, I'm looking forward to whatever the next stories are gonna entail. Again, there's gonna be a Laterano story very soon. There's also gonna be a main story update very soon as well, with episode 15. We'll see if any of the Laterano stuff shows up there. I'm presuming there's gonna be something at least. If not, it's fine. But there's definitely a Laterano story coming, which I'm again looking forward to it. And we'll see how all of that will go. But yeah, overall, this was a very nice story collection, which left with a lot of stuff to look forward to in the future. And I'm personally looking forward to it, because I will be covering it, I will be doing voiceovers for it, and you guys know they're gonna be going up whenever it's gonna happen, even if they drive me absolutely insane. Hopefully I don't have to deal with a single cutscene in the future. Once again, it will happen, let's be real. But hopefully I don't have to deal with a single cutscene in the future that is like super long and has like 5 bajillion characters in there, cause good god. Good god. Oh, that was a day of my life. Anyway, thank you all very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did so, please consider leaving a like, it will help out a lot. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Like I said, you will find pretty much everything here on the channel with Arknights stories, main side, and some other stuff as well. And yeah, if you want to support me more directly, memberships are also open. Like I say, no video will be behind a membership, it's purely there for support. And as always, I hope you all have a fantastic day wherever you are, and I will see you in the next one. The Blana Banana is coming very, very soon, so until then, bye-bye. What is with you in this background? This cat just likes the dark, dank, narrow places, doesn't she? Anyway, release him. Okay, who's this? Who the fuck are you? Whoa! Young Sarkas? Whoa, that is a very specific design. Uh-huh. That's a lot of blood patterns. Are you a vampire? Holy shit. That is maximum edge. Okay, he's definitely a vampire. Actually, no. Would he be a vampire with those horns? Maybe not. Let's see. Which is why I found my own way forward. One that lets me live. It almost sounds like you want to kill me too, Milton. Milton? Milton! No wonder he looks so edgy. He wants to get rid of the name. What kind of a name is Milton for this guy? Oh, no wonder he's trying so hard to look so much edge. What the shit, Milton? Oh, I will never let him live this one down. Oh my god. What the fuck? Oh, hi, Paprika. Didn't expect to see you here, okay. Ines, okay. Hi. Oh yeah, she was with Ines. It's safer to travel back with the group for now. Oh, hold her. Oh yeah, this is after his injury, isn't it? Oh, look at her being adorable and lending him a shoulder. Oh my god, if you two actually do not marry in the future, I'm gonna go and find Hai Mao and I'm gonna punch him in the face. In his stupidly sexy face, I'm gonna punch him. Good god, is it so hard to write NPCs that actually marry? My god! No, one accidentally damages it again. Accident. There she is. Fuck's sake. How are things looking outside, W?
I'll let you off the hook about the name this time.
Right, she's so happy with that name now. Everybody has to say it. Right. We're still in that phase. I forgot. You dingus. She keeps calling her W. You three love each other.
Doesn't Hodder need someone to take care of him?
I have it on good authority that he won't die. Oh, hi. A Trilby Asher. Are you the same one that we know, or are you a different one? Because they use your model for every single one of the Trilby Ashers. Then she senses a different kind of shadow. Delphine? Oh, hi.
Inform all Alliance units that this order comes directly from Delphine Vinnemere.
Hey, Shearer. Oh, holy shit, Morgan. Jesus Christ, there's so many characters in this thing. I got you. Get away from the cloth. I'll cover you. Oh my god. What is this right now? Grand Overture all of a sudden? Like full on Grand Overture? Every single character from Grand Overture is here? Jesus Christ. Oh, hi, Amiya. How's it going? Holy shit.
I can't get rid of them.
Oh my god, so many characters. Oh, I'm gonna go nuts. I'm gonna go insane. The list is getting longer. What is with this fucking specific story? Also, these last two stories suddenly feel like they're actually properly connected between each other. Compared to the first three. Oh, and the dog is here. This one seems pretty dead to me. Oh my god, so many characters. Oh my god, even more characters. How many major goddamn characters do we want to cram into this one single thing? Oh my god, the list is long. Oh my god, the list is so long for this alone. Oh my god, this is driving me insane. Okay, Margaret, just keep adding to the list. Just keep adding on the pile. It's like, how many do we have now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 major characters in this one cutscene. I swear they're gonna add three more. And there's another one. There's another one. I'm happy to see you, Nightingale. I'm truly happy to see you, but the list is getting longer. I said we're gonna add 3 more characters. We're up to 2 now. I'm waiting for a third one. To actually lose my mind. Oh my god, there's the third one. How long is this list gonna be for this cutscene alone? Oh my god, this cutscene alone is gonna take me like a full day to record. Oh, why? There is as many characters in this probably 10-minute more long cutscene as there is in an entire chapter of a story. Okay. There is another character! Soul Furnace of Kazel 1086? Why are we... How long is this cutscene? This is almost an hour long already. Eve of Babel Exodus 1086. Okay, well, she's also here now. Oh my god, you're also here. What the fuck? It is the Banshee's elegy for the dead. Oh, hi, you're also here, of course. My god, let's add 50 billion more characters to this one over an hour-long cutscene. My god, this is gonna kill me. This cutscene will kill me. Death shall emerge from the mountains on the skyline. Holy shit, the cutscene is over. This is an hour long. Oh, this will take me an entire day to actually film. Oh, this was good, but this is gonna take me a whole day. Oh my god. Why was this an hour long? Why were there over 20 characters in this thing as well? Jesus Christ. Oh, I'm gonna die. This is gonna be my coffin. Oh god, this just continues. This is so funny. The first three, yes, of course, take place in this whole aspect of the last couple of moments of the war in Victoria, but they were all technically separate stories with separate characters and everything. And these last three are essentially super tightly interconnected between each other. It's so weird. This structure is weird. Hey, but I can't shake the feeling it might suddenly appear right above my head. What? Who is this now? This side story is just introducing new NPCs. Oh, he reminds me of what was that guy's name from? He reminds me of Hancock from Final Fantasy XIV. When you get to the Eastern capital for the first time, to Doma. Or what was the city called again? Shirogane? Whatever. Basically that character. Literally the same glasses and everything. This guy is a merchant. Freaking round glasses. Every character with round glasses and a coat is always gonna be a merchant. I'm betting on this. What is that name? Pariakaka? Okay. Oh shit, wait, there is an entry for this? It's not written with a Q. Actually, never mind. The spelling is with a Q. But it's a C and a C. Pariakaka. In Incan and pre-Incan mythology, Pariakaka, contemporary Quechua spelling Pariakaka, was a god of storms, as well as a creator god. His life is described in the first chapter of the Huraochiri manuscript. Aha. Okay, I mean, he is Liberi. Is this another... Oh, is this maybe... Oh, is he maybe the same as... I can't see his entire model. Is he the same as Hoeheliak, maybe? A Kukulkan? Ooh. The wave of thoughts suddenly fades away, and she hears an unusual clear voice. Who are you? I wonder which fleet that was. Oh. Was it the Lateran fleet? Oh, fuck. Was it the Lateran fleet that fucking up? Yeah, they would mobilize. They would be the only force to mobilize. Okay, she is talking to the Pope. Oh shit, hi. Hi, Theresis. You're in the assimilated universe?